Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and this is the new Atlas Moth pattern. Here's how to make it. Okay, this is the video showing how to assemble the Atlas Moth pattern if you are not using a light box. And before we get into the actual assembly of it, I do want to show you the placement guide. So this is going to tell you what piece is what. You don't need to print it out unless you're using a light box. You can just have it up on your screen as reference. But I wanted to show this to you because this is a pattern that has a lot of pieces to it. This has 24 pieces, which is very, very high number for me for the patterns that I usually design. But this will help you figure out which triangle is which, since some of the shapes are very similar around the pattern. So I'm just going to tuck that here out of the way, but I wanted to show it to you first. So to get all your pieces prepared before we start assembling, I print the pieces, the template pieces, onto the paper side of paper-backed fusible adhesive. I use Heat and Bond Light for all of my quilts. Cut each piece out roughly and fuse it to the back side of your fabric, and then do a nice neat cut on the solid lines. All of these dotted lines are placement guides showing you where other applique pieces are going to sit on top of this piece, and you need to transfer those markings to the fabric side of your piece. And you can do that by just holding it up to a window. Although if you've been debating whether or not to get a light box and you're going to make several of these moth patterns, get the light box. They're not terribly expensive and they will make this process a million times easier. But you can totally do it without a light box. So I transferred all of these markings over with chalk is always my first choice. If the fabric I'm using is too light for the white chalk to show up, I'll use a pencil. So now we are going to start putting the pieces together, and I'm going to start with the body piece, the main body piece, which is piece number 21. On a light box, you lay the pieces down in number order, but it's different on the when you're not using a light box. So for all of these moth patterns, I've really been centering them in the block. So I want them centered and symmetrical, not fluttering around. So I've also made a butterfly version of the Atlas Moth. So I'm calling it an Atlas butterfly, even though that's not a real thing. And that one is kind of fluttering through the block instead of centered. So at the end of this video, you'll be able to see what both of those options look like. But for now, we're going to do the centered version, and I'm going to just put the body there. We may need to move that up or down, but right now it's just a starting place. Okay, then I'm going to start with piece number 9, which is the left side wing. And I'm going to tuck this. There's a line here that I transferred, and I want to tuck that so that it goes, actually it's going to go behind the head. I should have stuck the head in there first. Let's get the head on the body. Setting you aside for a second. So this one has, the head goes kind of pointy side up, and it overlaps the body right over that line. And once you get the line covered, you know you've got a good overlap. So now this piece actually tucks behind the head. And then the wings kind of go straight out. If you look at that placement guide as reference, the tops of the wings, it swoops down a little bit, but mostly they are going straight across. So let's swoop that down just a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing with the wing on the other side of the head. Okay, and now we're going to tuck the lower wings in, and then we'll make sure that we've got the placement, the positioning correct on the block before we put any of the other pieces in place, all the little fussy pieces on top of the wings. So piece number 2 is the lower wing on this side, and this is going to tuck behind the body to cover that line and behind this top wing to cover that line. So first let's get it behind the body, and then we're going to get it underneath this wing. Doo, doo, doo. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe I've got too, no, not too far. Okay, Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And this one is also going to go a little bit behind the body and mostly under that wing. So a little bit behind the body, way up under this wing. Move that for a second. Okay, that looks pretty good, but I feel like the whole thing is maybe shifted a little too high on that block. So I'm gonna shift it down a little bit. That may be too much, but I do have some antennae that are gonna go in there, and let's just kind of eyeball that. Yeah, I think I moved it down a little too far. Okay, up. There we go. Okay, I think that looks good. All right, now let me go ahead and tuck the antenna in. So this is piece 23, which means it's the right side antenna. And there's 22. This is the left side antenna. All right, now I'm going to start laying some of the pieces on the bottom wings because they're going to need to tuck under the top wings, and I don't want to get stuff on the top wings if I might be bumping them. So piece number 4 is the kind of ruffly edge that follows the curve of the bottom of this wing, and it's just going to tuck under there. And then we're going to do the same thing with piece number 3 on the other side. Okay, that looks good. And now we've got these little slivers. So we've got 5 is going to go on this side. These are just little wavy stripes. And we just want to cover up that line. And I'm going to pull that right to the edge of this wing. If it hangs off the edge a little bit, that's okay. That's better than letting a little sliver of the wing show behind it. So we're going to do the same thing now with piece number 6 on the other wing. And somehow I bumped the middle there. We'll fix those antennae later. Okay. Go ahead and tuck that in now. So I think we've done all the things that get tucked behind other things. All right, so now let's do some of these big pieces on the top wings. So we've got piece number 12, which is this bottom edge. And piece number 11 is the corresponding piece for the other side. And then let's do the stripes on this side. So I've got piece 14 in my hand, and that is the wing on this side. this needs to be moved down. There we go. I think I'm going to need to do the same thing with this guy. There. This one's a complicated little guy. Okay, now let's do 13 on this side. So again, you're seeing how a light box would make this easier. But I did want to show you that it is possible to do it without. It just takes a little bit more fussing around. Okay, there we go on that. And you need to shift down a little bit. Okay, now we have 19 and 20 are little wedges. So this is piece 20, so it goes on this side. And 19 goes on the other side. And then 15 and 16 are these kind of sort of darker crescent shapes. They're kind of almost the same color as the wing behind it, just a little bit darker. And I made, to help set it off a little bit more, I made the stripes on the two pieces go in the opposite direction of each other. Whoa. And now we've got some little light colored triangles that go nestle into that curve. So here is this one. And we've got a matching one on the other side. There we go. And now, just two more pieces left, little triangles in the lower wings. There's one, and number 7 is the last piece we're putting down. All right, I think that all looks good. I'm going to take it over to my ironing board, double check that I haven't bumped anything, and fuse everything down, and then I will take it to my sewing machine and outline around all these pieces, and then I will bring it back here and show you the finished Atlas Moth and also the totally imaginary Atlas Butterfly. All right, here is the finished Atlas Moth, made up in pretty realistic colors, but I also wanted to show you an Atlas Butterfly that I made. So here is the Atlas Butterfly. There's no such thing as an Atlas Butterfly. This is a totally made up creature, but God, I love it. I just love the colors. This one turned out really, really nicely. I'm very happy with this one. But I just wanted to show you that you can take all of the moth patterns, you can make them up in pretty realistic colors, but then you can also make the exact same pattern, exact same pieces, exact same configuration, but totally made up colors and make a completely different creature. Another thing that you can do, I'm doing 10 moth patterns and 10 butterfly patterns, and you're going to be able to mix and match the pieces between all of those patterns. So you can take the wings from one moth and the body of another, and the lower wings of a different one, and the markings of another one, and the antenna of a different one, and you can mix all of those together and come up with completely unique and different moths or butterflies. So these are going to be a lot of fun to play with. But for now, here is the Atlas Moth pattern. You can get it at Shiny Happy World. I'm Wendy, and I will see you next time.